What's up, my friends? Ich hoffe, euch geht es gut, meine deutschen Freunde. My name is Kevin Andre. I live in Los Angeles. I've been here for 6 years, and I've seen all the good sides, but I've also seen all the bad sides. And today, I want to talk about 5 reasons why you should not come to LA if you're a musician. Because every good side has a bad side, right? LA is such an incredible city, but you gotta be aware of the downfalls that can happen. And this is one of the videos. If you like this kind of content, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe, because I want to grow this channel even more and give you guys more of the insights that I have learned in the last 6 years. All right, let's get started with our first reason not to come to LA, the very high cost of living. Everything I'm going to say today is probably you already know. I just want to highlight them because I felt it myself, right? Rent, food, and general expenses in LA are really high. Recently, I just bought eggs for $10, 12 eggs. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? That is not just eggs. That is the regular groceries you need, which is like vegetables and stuff. Super expensive. I grew up in Germany, and here, everything's triple the price. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? My rent, triple the price from Germany. So you gotta be aware of this downfall. If you don't know how to handle money, if you really fall into like the habit of buying a lot of clothes or like spending a lot of money that you don't have, LA might not be the city for you. Because there are so many hidden expenses, car payments, insurance, all these things. Don't forget about that. LA is super expensive. When you come here and you plan to come here, have a little bit of money on the side. And when I say little, that's relative. So have some money on the side. You definitely need that money because there are going to be expenses you're not going to think about, right? Taxes, super expensive as well. Be aware of that, right? Think ahead and plan accordingly. Very important, because this music industry and our music careers are not going to be we're not going to be where we want to be right away. It takes time. It's a grind. It's a long game. So if you don't know how to sustain yourself, be very aware of that, right? LA is very oversaturated with talent. That is my reason number 2. If you are not 100% adamant about what you can do and cannot do, LA is not the place for you. It's not good to come here and then figure out that you're not good enough, that you don't have the self-confidence that you need to be here. Because there are so many people that actually have that, right? So you gotta be able to stand out and stand your ground. If you cannot do that, LA is gonna be hell for you. It's gonna be really hard on your mental, and you gotta be a strong personality to actually endure it. I've learned so much over the last 15 years of my music career, I would say, since college. All the ups and downs, like I said, and I had to work so much on my personal mental. And I've been through a lot of shitty situations, right? But I overcame those. And I knew coming out to LA, I need to be strong. I need to, be very resilient, right? And that actually helped me to persevere and like push through those moments. And even now, it's the beginning of the year. I don't have that many concerts or gigs or whatever. I got to be persistent and resilient and know that I have something in me that is going to work out for me in the end, on the long term, right? So just be aware of that. It's very oversaturated. There's so many musical, talented people, which is actually can be a good thing. Like I said in my last video, those are the people you want to connect with, because music is collaborative. You always work with other people. So it has 2 sides to the story. Very oversaturated. You got to know what you know and what you can and cannot do. Otherwise, you're not going to last here in LA, right? Reason number 3, music income is very unreliable. And like I just said, it's the beginning of the year. In my field, as a piano player, and honestly entertainment in general, it's very seasonal. It's very often that the beginning of the year, January, February, March, and then it usually picks up in LA because weather's really good. It's really nice out, right? So there are a lot of events happening. But in the beginning of the year, companies don't have money yet. There's no budget allocated for like expenses like entertainment or music that much. So it's very unreliable. And if you don't know how to handle money, it's going to be really hard for you, right? So be aware that have like a budget or a spreadsheet, like I said in the video before as well. That is what you need in order to start being here, because money is definitely is an issue. If you cannot do that, you're going to be in debt really quickly. And I don't want that for anybody, right? Absolutely. Try to stay away from debt and try to know your money. Try to know your numbers, right? Number 4, which is a really petty thing, but a lot of people really hate it. Traffic and long commute is a really big thing here in LA. We all know traffic in LA is the worst. There are other cities in Germany, honestly, it's not better. But yeah, you got to be prepared to be in traffic for a long time. So find a way to use that traffic and these long commutes to be productive. I personally have a couple podcasts that I listen to, or things that I can work through mentally while I drive, right? So even if I am in a car for 1.5 hours and it should only take me 30 minutes, I have podcasts I need to listen to YouTube videos that I like put on as a podcast, stuff so I can learn while I drive. Try to be productive during your time in driving. And if that is something that ticks you off, I don't know if this city is for you, because you got to drive here. You need a car and you got to drive. There is public transportation, but it's not reliable, and it takes a long time, and it's very noisy and not that comfortable, right? So I would suggest you get a car when you get to LA. It doesn't have to be a crazy car, but get something that takes you from point A to B, right? That's what I'm saying. So be aware of that. It's a thing. It's a thing in LA. And the last thing, which is a really big thing as well, and that is something I felt for multiple times already. This industry, the music industry, is built on gatekeeping and clout culture. Oh my God, I can talk hours about this topic, but you gotta know that there are certain people in power that actually gatekeep industries, if that makes sense, right? If you want to get to a major label level as a, I don't know, keyboarder, musician, whatever, background singer, it's a lot of gatekeeping. You just got to know a certain kind of person, and that person can let you in or not. So they are in the power. I don't really like that kind of culture at all, because it should be built on merit, to be honest. If you're good enough, if you're a good person, you should be able to do the job. But most of the time, it just stops at this one point that you got to know the right people. So it's all about networking, getting to know the right people, which is not really nice at all. And cloud culture, if you have followers, you are loved out here. And if you're, I personally don't like to build my life around followers or like in the internet. It's part of it. It's part of the business. I get it. And I'm doing this as well, right? I'm doing these YouTube videos. The fact that it's built on this cloud culture is the problem in my eyes, right? There is no opportunity or very little opportunity for you to step in to where you need to go on the higher level if you are not connected or you do not have the clout in form of followers or money, which is a huge thing, right? The US is capitalism. We know this. If you have money, you can do everything, and it should be that way, right? So I feel like there's like a disbalance when it comes to stuff like that, and I wish that would be different, but it's not. So be aware that if you don't have that, be ready to do the long walk. Be ready to grind, because that's what we got to do. That's what I am doing currently still after 6 years, right? And 6 years is only the beginning, to be honest. Like, I'm in a good place right now. I have gigs, I work, I have good income, but it's also not reliable. Like I said, best case scenario, I should have more clout. I should build up a following. I should build up my Spotify streams. I hate it, but it's part of the game, right? You gotta know that this is the game. These are the rules that are being given to us in the game, right? If you know these rules, it's easier to navigate and it's easier to break through, right? So reason number 1 was, again, high cost of living in LA. Be aware of that. Number 2 was oversaturation with talent. So many people, if you don't know what you're doing, this is not the place for you, because finding out here in LA, you're going to be left behind and you're going to be in debt. Number 3, unreliable music income. Number 4, LA has a lot of traffic. You're going to waste a lot of time. Be aware of that as well. If that ticks you off, LA is not the place for you. And number 5, there's an industry gatekeeping and a cloud culture, which is really not cool, but it's part of the game. You got to know the rules. If you know the rules, you can play the game. It's a grind. It's a long walk. And don't just worry about the destination. Worry about the grind up. You know what I mean? worry about the path. That is where the fun actually also is here in LA. I hope this kind of helped you guys a little bit and you can like pick something out for you that was relevant. I just want to give you guys like the learnings that I have for myself coming out here 6 years ago. In the 6 years, I've seen a lot. So I just want to give it to you guys. If you like this kind of content, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. I would love that and appreciate that so much. Yeah. And I hope I'm going to see you guys in the next video. All right. Peace.